February 6th, a baby boy was brought into this world. Now, this baby boy grew up in a poor family, but he worked, he learned, and he interacted. Later, he went off to college, and after earning his bachelor's degree in economics and sociology, he decided to move into radio broadcasting. Now, after a while in this field, he decided to shift his career in a different direction, acting, and he actually landed a contract in Hollywood. Now, it was through this Hollywood interaction that he learned and he gained understanding on politics, and this set his mind in a different direction, and that was politics. In 1966, he ran and won the governorship of California against the incumbent. And then later in 1980, he ran and won the presidency of the United States. Now, who is this man that I greatly admire and I would call my hero? His name is Ronald Reagan. But why would you think that Ronald Reagan is my hero? Is it because he was always right and he did everything in the most orderly manner? Of course not. He failed so many times, and there are many occasions where we could place due blame upon him. Was it because he always did everything out of the best intentions? Absolutely not. There are so many times where he chose to do the wrong thing, even if he thought it was for the right reason. So why is he my favorite president and my hero? It's because he tried to do the right thing to the best of his ability without wavering and no turning back. He chose to do a superhero's job, even though he was just a normal man. Now, before we go further, we must look at some of the challenges he faced to get to that point. The first part of his life was very difficult, and it was because he came from a poor family, and his father was a shoe salesman, and he was an avid alcoholic. And this created so much tension in his life that it created so much burden upon him. But as he grew up, his self-confidence and his ability to speak became stronger and more developed. And this afforded him the opportunity to see in the future and to look at the things that could come to his life. This part of his life where he was poor shaped how he looked at the world and how his work ethic was built, and it also shaped the way he honored and what he believed. Another life-changing challenge came later when he was an actor. Now, this is the second life-changing challenge because as an actor, and as I mentioned before, he was in the Screen Actors Guild. Now, he was president from 1947, and he served 6 one-year terms until 1960. Now, it was at this point that he retired, and he decided to go and run for the political office of Governor of California. But why is this part of his life so important? It's because it was at this time in dealing with the Screen Actors Guild and the issues that came up via the money that was dealt out by the producers. They weren't dealing out to the actors what they were owed. And this was a big issue. But he was able to overcome this, and he was able to negotiate and communicate to those producers through this and bring this major issue to a close. So, it was at this time that he realized the impact of communism and how largely this had grown into a dangerous threat in well-meaning liberals and Americans alike. And it was through this that he decided to change his political party from Democrat to Republican. And this changed his trajectory of his career and the rest of his life from this point on until he died. Now lastly, let's examine the third and probably the most important event that happened in his life. And that was his attempted assassination. Now, the White House biography of Ronald Reagan said, on January 20th, 1981, Reagan took office. And only 69 days after he took this, he was shot by a would-be assassin, but he quickly recovered and returned to duty. Now, his strength and his wit during the incident caused popularity to soar. I mean, how Reagan responded to this was so incredibly inspiring. He took something that could be looked at as upsetting, and he could have been so distraught at how this might affect his political career, but he decided not to. He decided to respond with a spirit of humor. Now, the biography of him by History.com said that he playfully just to show how he took this. He playfully, right after he got shot, he told his wife, "Honey, I forgot to duck." That's Ronald Reagan's biography, history.com. This proved to America that he was a man of his word and that he was going to do what he said he was going to do, no matter how many people attempted to stop him. And it's for this reason that I hold Ronald Reagan as my hero, because he decided to do what was right, even when it was hard, even through all the challenges of his life. Even though he started out as a young boy and moved into maybe an upper career like radio broadcasting, but it wasn't very much. Later into acting seems like a big deal, but not really. Later into politics, this is a major step. He did this because he didn't do it because he saw that he was better for this position, but rather that he saw a need and he wanted to fill the gap to the utmost. It was for this reason that I hold Ronald Reagan as my hero. And through challenges in our lives, we can learn and grow just like he did. Thank you.